Hare Krishna. Welcome to our channel. We are reading Bhagavad-gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And so we call the channel Bhagavad-gita. Here it is, because that's what we have. And we're in chapter 13, not for much longer. We're kind of coming towards the end. And yes, we get some philosophy here. And philosophy, the best definition I ever heard is a description of reality. And then it's a description that goes a little bit deeper, hopefully, so we can understand existence in a deeper way. Stay with us.
Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang.
So, today we're reading text 27. And I'm reading the Sanskrit. Yavat sangyayate kinchit satvang stahavara jangamam kshetra kshetragya samyogat tadvidhi bharatarshabha. O chief of the Bharatas, know that whatever you see in existence, both the moving and the non-moving, is only a combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field. So we have a terminology that comes straight out of the Sanskrit. Kshetra, kshetragya. Kshetra means the field, kshetragya means the knower of the field. And samyogat means the union, when they connect. Krishna is speaking this verse to Arjuna, and Arjuna he calls Bharatarshabha. Bharata is kind of his dynasty where he's coming from, and he's the chief of them because he's a very special person. So Krishna is speaking to Arjuna because he's very special, but also he's leaving this knowledge in this book for the rest of us, so we have access to it as well. And what we see in existence, combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field. The field, we can understand it as the place where we act. So it refers mostly to the body, but kind of to existence as a whole. And because we are here, it means something. You know, if you have a body and it's just sitting there when someone dies, the person isn't there, but the body is there, so you have to dispose of it. You want to dispose of it in a very respectful way, and maybe with a bit of a ceremony to it, both for the benefit of the person who was once in that body, and also for the benefit of the rest of us. So we are reminded of the deeper meanings in life. We can take some solace. We can further our, hopefully, our spiritual advancement even. But whatever we see, let us read the purport. Both material nature and the living entity, which were existing before the creation of the cosmos, are explained in this verse. Whatever is created is but a combination of the living entity and material nature. That's everything. That's everything. Whatever we see, it's a combination of the material nature and that which makes it alive. It's us, the living entities. There are many manifestations, like trees, mountains, and hills, which are not moving, and there are many existences which are moving, and all of them are but combinations of material nature and the superior nature, the living entity. Without the touch of the superior nature, the living entity, nothing can grow. Yeah, that is life. If something is alive, it goes through stages. It is born, or it starts, it appears, it grows, it stays for a while. It creates, I don't know, my English words sometimes, progeny, like they create something. We have children, the trees, they have fruits and so on. And then it dwindles and then it dies. And we can see that in all the life forms. And sometimes they say, oh, it's a mystery, we cannot exactly decide when a child is alive, but as soon as it grows, it's alive. So that's the understanding. And that's, how to say, a better setup for knowledge is to start from there. We start from Krishna, we start from the soul, and then we understand the world in that perspective. We don't want to, how to say, sometimes they go the other way around, like we are here and the world is here, and therefore maybe there is a creator who has given all of this to us, and therefore we want to respect him in some sense, but basically it's all about us. And that perspective is a little limited. So if we can understand, even before this creation, because we can see now, we see planets and we see life forms and we see this material existence, it hasn't always been here. And we hear that at the beginning of Brahma's life, or rather, one step back from that even, is Krishna is there in the spiritual world. We want to be in the material world, so he gives it to us, he hands it to us. Through his manifestation of Mahavishnu, when he breathes out, the universes come out. When he breathes in, the universes go back inside his body. And in that little short moment, that's 100 years of Lord Brahma's time, and for us it's not countless, we can count it, but we can't really understand it, it's such a huge number. So Brahma takes birth inside his universe, and he gets the service of setting it all up. So there are life forms, there are planets, and then Vishnu glances over it and the souls enter into those life forms. And then we it's just like, I don't know, you can have like a little science experience in school. You have a glass bottle and you put some earth there and you put some seeds there and you put a little bit of water and then you close it. And then you can see how this water, it circulates. It's always enough, it comes up as condensation and then it goes back into the earth, and then these things, little plants, they can grow there. So we're kind of a closed system like that. The souls are here, material nature is here, so we take birth and we die, and our bodies disintegrate and turn into earth for new living entities to live off. And all of this is there because Krishna's energy is there, the material nature, and Krishna's energy is there, the living entities who take birth in these bodies made out of the material energy. And that's all we see here. And we can study it, and we have that. There's so much research, so much science going on, studying, down into the atoms and out into the universe and trying to grasp all of it. But if you don't understand where it all comes from and why it's here and who are we and how do we connect to it all, then I shouldn't say it's not useful, because obviously it's useful. We can learn many things. Just going here, I'm crossing a few bridges, and if we didn't know how these materials works, we couldn't build bridges. We could try to build them, but they would break again, and so it's useful. But ultimately, when we're in this world is the best use of this world is to realize who we are. I mean, even on a material platform, if we don't really know ourselves, we go to school, we study something, we want to work with something, have an income. But if we don't understand ourselves, I'm trying to remember who this was. Somebody I used to know, and I can't remember who it was. But they became a baker. They learned about this baking thing because they thought it was interesting. And then they realized they hated getting up early. So they worked as a baker for a very short time, and then they did something totally different. And if they had known that from the beginning, they could maybe have focused directly. Because it's no harm. We don't know ourselves. We test something out. And after we tested it out, we know more. But at this point, we are human beings in this world. We have access to Krishna's Bhagavad-gita. We have the intelligence. We have the capacity for self-realization in this human body. So it's a really good idea to take it a little seriously and give it a try. I got a comment a few episodes back. Somebody commented that he got a book earlier, a book about Krishna consciousness, and he just put it on the shelf. And now in this lockdown time, because Sweden, our lockdown is not very strict, but still, activities are limited now. So he took out this book and he's getting into this book, and he said it helped him so much in this lockdown mentality to just have something else to focus on. So that's what we can do in this life. We can add Krishna, and Bhagavad-gita is a very structured, intelligent way to understand the basis for Krishna consciousness, so we can apply it with more confidence. The relationship between material nature and spiritual nature is eternally going on, and this combination is affected by the Supreme Lord. Therefore, he is the controller of both the superior and inferior nature. The material nature is created by him, and the superior nature is placed in this material nature, and thus all these activities and manifestations take place. So that's it. That's the understanding of everything in this world. So, without that knowledge, we can just kind of fumble in the dark and not really get the point. And with this knowledge, we can use it to become more focused and serious in actually understanding ourselves in this world. Because if everything else is of a changing nature, but we are eternal, then it stands to reason that we want to know who we are. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.